I think she just decided before she was going to describe emotionally the 4 dead Americans, that's when she was really choking up, the heroes, and use that as her trump card to get out of the questions. It was a good way of getting out of really having to respond to me. And then the other question I pointed out where you said, when she said, you know, she didn't want to interfere in the process, you said, well, that's a good excuse. So it sounds to me like you're saying a lot of that was just faked.
Well, listen, I was responding to a question maybe I shouldn't have speculated. The bottom line is I agree with Secretary Clinton that we need to understand what happened so we can prevent it in the future. But again, we do need to get to the bottom of, you know, what actually happened. What is the truth of the matter here? You know, did the administration mislead us? I absolutely believe they did. And I think that's important for the American people to understand.
Let's go back to the question, though, and I hear you, but respectfully, here's what you told BuzzFeed. It was a good way of getting out of having to respond to me. And the question to the secretary right before she really said, with all due respect, Senator, and kind of went at you a little bit, you said, you know, well, that's a good excuse. So to me, both of those things read, I think, fairly, as someone who's saying, you know, you're faking it. This is fake.
Listen, they were hiding behind the FBI investigation. They were hiding behind this Accountability Review Board report. So they weren't answering any questions. Listen, it's taken 4 months, and I understand she had health problems. I'm glad she's returned to health. But the fact of the matter is, this administration has not been straightforward with the American public. And again, I'm getting pressure from my constituents to find out the truth. The American people deserve the truth. That is why this matters. But it also matters enormously. And this is where I agree with Secretary Clinton. The main point is let's find out what happened. Let's prevent it from happening in the future.
But, sir,
there's a failure of leadership before this and certainly after this, and we need to correct those problems.
You accuse her of crying and being emotional as a good way of getting out.
I did not. No, I did not accuse her of crying or no.
You said. She was going to describe emotionally the 4 dead Americans, the heroes. It was a good way of getting out of having to really respond to me. How am I misreading that?
I was responding to a question, Soledad. I probably speculated, and I shouldn't have.